Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to try doing something a little bit different here on the channel where I'm just going to talk to you guys about kind of my strategy for artifacts inside Raid Shadow Legends, and we're going to talk about a variety of different kind of aspects to artifacts, what makes an artifact valuable, how do you go about like farming artifacts, which are good to just sell, and just kind of give you my opinions, and then talk about what makes a specific piece of artifact, valuable based on the slot it's in and based on the different substats that it has. So let me know, again, as with all my videos, these are my opinion based on experience, based on Reddit, based on just watching other videos, and like I said, game experience being kind of front and center throughout the game. Learn from my mistakes, so I look to pass some of that on to you guys in today's video. So let's start out by just talking about how to farm artifacts, talking like early to mid game, where you're going to be getting most of your artifacts just from the campaign or from the market. I'm never a big fan of the shop artifact sets. If you just want to spend money and you desperately want, 6-star whatever artifacts or 5-star legendary artifacts, sure, go for it. I did early on, but now I never do. And when you get to later in the mid game, in the end game, you're probably not going to be buying those packs, even if you're like a billionaire and you have a ton of money to spend, because you can just get that from dungeons and it's easier to get, and oftentimes you're getting better artifacts anyway because you can't see the main stats of the artifacts when you buy them from the shop. Just for example here, what do I have available right now? Okay, right here, 6-star artifact pack. Like, you can't tell what the stats are on these. You can just tell that they're 6 stars in epics. So for $25, again, I mean, if I really wanted an immortal weapon, an immortal set, I mean, go for it, but it's just not worth the bang for your buck. Way better off just spending money on energy if you're going to spend money anywhere, and just farming those artifacts in dungeons yourself when you're able to. But early game, if you want to splurge here or there, $20 here or $20 there, these artifacts might be a little bit more beneficial because they can help you get to the end game faster, where you can farm your own artifacts that are better than those without having to spend money on them. Kind of follow where I'm going there. So under dungeons here, these are basic stuff here. Actually, campaign rather. So this is basic stuff, but you basically want to be farming, for the most part, artifacts. What I consider the most valuable places to farm are certainly lifesteal gear, right? Lifesteal, depending on the difficulty that you're in, but going for lifesteal is definitely beneficial. Lifesteal helps you out end game, mid game, just so tremendously. Helps you out in faction crypts as well, and lifesteal, you can never go wrong. Also, definitely going in level 6 in the Palace of Aravia for speed gear. Speed and lifesteal is where I love to farm personally. Now, just realize that farming on stage 7 is going to get you like a variety of gear. It's going to be a random piece of any of those set drops. So equipping your characters early game with lifesteal and speed as your main sets is really solid. And again, you can ride that out later into the game. We'll talk about what makes a specific piece of artifacts valuable in just a moment. Now, after you get into past the early game, into the mid game, and I would advise you guys hold on to artifacts that you think could be beneficial all the way up until you get to 700 capacity on artifacts, and then start selling the worst artifacts and going from there, rather than just keeping at 100 artifacts and just always selling. No reason not to use your whole artifact storage. I guess there's one reason, that Plarium makes it kind of difficult to sort your artifacts really well. I really hope they improve that soon, because it'd be so much easier if you could just sort your artifacts and easily sell the ones that you don't want by substat, by stat, whatever, right? By set. So I think that's pretty much campaign, right? I mean, when you get into the later mid and the late game, the end game in Raid Shadow Legends, you won't be getting any of your artifacts from campaign at all, right? You'll be getting them all from dungeons or from special events and stuff like that, from tournaments, right? So dungeons, right? Obviously, Ice Golem, Dragon's Lair, and Fire Knights all drops separate sets of artifacts. You can see the sets listed on the left side of your screen here. So generally speaking, Dragon's Lair is the easiest of all of the main dungeons here, compared to Ice Golem and Fire Knight. So generally, you'll be starting, after you move on from campaigns for artifact farming, you'll be moving on to Dragon's Lair for artifact farming, where you can still get speed and lifesteal. So you're still working with the same sets, just way better gear, and as you eventually upgrade and get all the way to, let's see, Level 13 is when you can first pull your first 6-star artifacts from dragons. So that should be a goal for all you guys, to get to dragons 13, to be able to clear it, and then you can farm 6-star artifacts. And then as you go up, eventually you'll be able to do dragons 20. You can even do this with an all rare composition. I've shown that here on the channel before. So I think like Bellower, Coldheart, Apothecary, okay. Well, there's other champions you can add to the Kale, you can add to the mix, and it can be done, right? With the gear, of course. So when you get to stage 20, you can actually get those higher rarity, those legendaries, and 5 or 6 star on every single artifact drop. That's where you'll be spending a lot of your time when artifact farming, getting those better accuracy, speed, and lifesteal sets. Now, talking quickly about sets, you know, every set has its place for the most part, but, you know, you're going to be grading the overall value of an artifact when deciding whether to sell it or keep it based on the set, a little bit based on the set that it's a part of, right? Because some sets are inherently so much more valuable than other sets inside the game. So when we talk about good sets, obviously speed is the top of the list, right? Speed is a set that you can use all the way until the very end game. Speed is so important in the arena as well. It applies to every aspect of the game. So speed artifacts are inherently going to be a little bit more valuable than, say, I don't know, a crap artifact like Fury, for example, or Avenging artifacts, okay? So you should know kind of your set tier list in your head. Bad artifacts would be like I said, Reflex, Curing, Fury, Stalwart, Destroy, Avenging. All of these I consider just to be, I don't know, kind of devalues a little bit the artifact. I'm only keeping an artifact of those sets if I really feel like it's a really awesome piece of gear, because I likely will not be building out champions with those sets, you know, like I'm not going to build an Avenging set champion, you know, or very unlikely that I would do so, okay? I'd rather have just a couple broken sets of good gear, and that's when you'd be using those artifacts. So let's talk a little bit about what makes good gear. And if you guys want, I can do a follow-up video really going through every artifact set and talking about, you know, maybe doing a tier list or something like that. I should touch on spiders really quick as well. So spiders obviously is where you're going to be getting all of your jewelry. And again, when you can get to clearing spiders 13, which is a void spider 2, then you can get a chance at getting those 6-star jewelry artifacts, which are incredibly good as well. So that should be a goal of yours as well. Now, when it comes to jewelry, you're looking for, let me just pull up a champion so you guys can have a visual aid here. But in terms of artifacts, right, you're looking for a lot of percentages on your rings, right? That's the main thing on the substats that you're looking for to make it valuable. So defense, percentage, HP, percentage, and attack percentage. If you have percentage substats, go ahead and keep those rings, especially providing that they're the substats that you're looking for. In the main stat, it's okay. Attack, defense, HP on rings is cool, right? Crit damage is your most valuable main stat on your amulets, okay? And then in terms of substats, accuracy is your number one that you're looking for that indicates a valuable amulet. So this amulet is really valuable, right? It is only a rare, but it is a 6-star with crit damage, most valuable, and it has accuracy with a roll on it as well. So this is a really, really good amulet, okay? And then in terms of the secondary substat on amulets, I guess you would go with crit damage if you don't have an already crit damage main stat, okay? So accuracy definitely is the best thing to go for as a secondary, though. On the banners, accuracy is by far and away the best banners in the game 90% of the time. Unless you're trying to build a really niche team, then you can go with like resistance. So accuracy banners you should probably not be selling. As far as a substat, the most number one far and away best substat, and again this is a really good banner, so I actually picked good gear to look at here. This is a really good banner because I have accuracy as the main stat and I have a double roll on speed. I'm getting 20 speed from this banner. That's incredible. It's a really, really, really good banner. So you're going for accuracy, maybe resist as a secondary, but even if, because some champions just don't need accuracy at all, right? So HP is totally fine. Even attack or defense is okay, provided it has the substats that you're looking for. And again, we're really looking for speed on our banner in terms of a substat. Also, HP percentage, defense percentage, and attack percentage on substats make valuable jewelry artifacts, okay? Hopefully that was easy to understand for you guys. Now let's go through the other artifacts in the game, and we'll kind of wrap this video up. Actually, at the very end, I want to show you my artifact, my whole, artifact vault, if you will, and show you my strategy in terms of what I sell and what I don't. But in terms of what substats I'm looking for in each piece of gear, my weapon obviously is attack based. I'm looking for speed, crit rate, crit damage, and this, again, a great, I'm talking about substats here on my weapons, and this is a great example. Of course, everything does depend on the champion that you're going for. So for example, if you're going for Miscreated Monster, who's based on HP, you obviously want HP percentage and HP flat. Going for the double HP as sub rolls on that artifact is going to be very important. So it does change. I'm just talking about when I farm artifacts and I just get an artifact and I don't have a champion in mind, these are the substats that I'm generally looking for. So again, speed and crit rate is a good 1-2 combo to really have on any artifact, and that's definitely what I look for on my shields, right? So speed and crit rate is great. The reason I look for crit rate on my shield along with speed is because for attack-based champions, or for any champion that you want to be doing damage, some champions obviously damage based on defense or HP or whatever, but crit rate is great because if you want a crazy heavy nuker, what you're trying to do is get enough crit rate on all of your artifacts except for the gauntlets that it allows you the flexibility to go to crit damage on the gauntlets and still achieve a close to 100% crit rate on your champion overall. So a good example of that I have is, I believe I have that on Turvold. I do, because you can already tell by the stats here, right? So my overall stats on Turvold are crit rate 83, crit damage 228. I'd like that crit rate to be 100, obviously. But even so, I have the luxury of putting crit damage gauntlets on him because I'm able to get enough crit rate, 13% here, 16% there, 10% there, and 11% and so on, from other artifacts that I'm able to put those crit damage gauntlets on him, making him absolute powerhouse in terms of overall damage output, okay? So that's why crit rate for me is really valuable as a substat just in general, because I love to build my high damage dealers in a way like I'm building this Turvold, okay? So I always have that in the back of my mind. But back to the ideal set of, on the helmet, again, I'm looking for percentages, always gonna be important. Defense, HP percentage, attack percentage, and speed, okay? And accuracy being like the 5th stat. I will keep those artifacts. We're going to talk about stars in just a moment, like the overall artifact level. So going into the gauntlets, I'm keeping high level defense percentage. I rarely take attack percentage gauntlets because usually you're going crit rate or crit damage on your attacking champions. So seldom do I keep attack percentage on my gauntlets unless the sub rolls are just insane, okay? So normally I'll sell attack percentage on my gauntlets. I'll keep defense, I'll keep HP, I'll keep crit rate, and I'll keep crit damage, okay? And then on the chest, kind of the same thing. I'm keeping all the percentages, provided they're at a certain level threshold of kind of like, and that will change as you move through the game. We're gonna talk about that at the end of the video, right? So attack percentage, defense percentage, HP percentage being the big 3, and then occasionally I'll take an accuracy, like a 6-star accuracy artifact I'll keep if they're good sub rolls, or a 6-star resistance artifact I'll keep if it's really good sub rolls, okay? I like to have a few of them kind of in my arsenal, but I don't want to overdo it. You don't need a ton of accuracy and resistance artifacts because you're not using them that often. They're really niche artifacts that suit mostly an arena team, okay? And then on the boots, I'm keeping a few defense, HP, and attack percentage boots, and I'm keeping almost all of the speed boots that I can find, right? So speed boots are far and away what I'm using the most frequently on all my champions, but again, I will keep the other percentages just to have some, because sometimes on the big damage dealers or just a really strong defensive unit, you don't need the speed, especially in the arena. Sometimes the damage dealers go last, So you don't need them to be the fastest because you can use turn meter manipulation or stuns or sleep or whatever to make sure they go before the enemy anyway, okay? So again, for substats on the defense, percentage, speed if it's not speed boots anyway, and just crit rate again is important to me in terms of substats that I'm looking for. So again, I feel like I didn't necessarily deliver that information as coherently as maybe I could have. I hope you guys were able to kind of follow along and talk about what I see as valuable in each of these artifacts. Maybe I ought to like put a pinned comment. I think I'm going to. I'll put a pinned comment with this video, just letting you guys know the stats that I look for in every single artifact spot. That way you can kind of have a I don't know, a visual supplement to go along with the audio here. So let's go ahead and talk about my main like artifact storage. I don't know why I got out of there, but you guys can see I am close to 700 right now. And once you get to 700, what you can do is just every time you get new artifacts, every time you know that you've been farming for a bit, you can just wait till you have an extra time, extra 5-10 minutes, just, you know, a free time, and then you can go, okay, I have new stuff, I'm gonna click on that cell and I'm gonna kind of go through my artifacts. So this artifact, so okay, let me kind of rewind before I start selling stuff, right? So right now where I am in the game, right, I don't want to go back away from the new because I want to make sure I have these, you know, set to sell, right? But what I'm looking for right now for where I am, where I'm basically at end game right now, I'm getting to the point where I'm only keeping 6-star artifacts. But it doesn't mean that you're on the same level as me. Maybe you're only keeping 4-star artifacts or 5-star, but you have to eventually kind of, as you progress through the game, you have to get comfortable with selling, with trashing artifacts that are actually, you know, that you would have kept 2 or 3 months ago, right? Because you're going to progress through the game, your teams are going to get better, your champions are going to get better, so you have to be willing and able to start selling artifacts that you used to value but you no longer value. So for that reason, you always want to kind of up your standards. So right now, I'm just on the threshold of selling everything that's not 6-star, no matter how good it is, because I cannot fit it anymore in my arsenal, right? I can only fit 700 artifacts, so I have to make these decisions. So the only way I'm keeping a 5-star right now is if it has insane stats as a sub-roll, or if it's an insane like 5-star legendary artifact with great sub-rolls on them. Rares that are 5 stars, I will no longer keep, okay? So I advise you guys to do the same. In your head, so you don't have to make a huge decision every single time you get a new artifact. In your head, you should know, okay, what is the artifact that I want to sell? What is my threshold, right? That way you don't have to kind of just sit there and pine, like I said, over every decision in this game. So you can see this is a 5-star artifact that's only a rare, so I'm gonna sell it no matter what. I mean, the substats are great. Crit rate and accuracy, but it doesn't matter. I have to draw the line somewhere. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be able to store this artifact. Anything that is a base stat on my chest, a base stat on my gauntlets, or a base stat besides speed on my boots, I'm trashing immediately. I'm selling them immediately no matter what, even if they're 6-star. So again, I'm not even looking at the substats on these because I don't want to tempt myself, right? So sell, it's a 5-star. Now we have 6-star defense, but the substats are not that great, but it is speed. Speed, the most valuable set in the game. So guess what? I'm keeping that one. And then attack percentage, I don't love the attack with the defense. Even though it is 6-star, even though it's speed, I'm still going to sell it. And same thing here. It's going to be a sell. Now, again, I'm so close to 700 right now that I have to be very, very picky. Some of this stuff you guys might be saying, dude, give me that artifact. I would take that in a second. But you're going to get here eventually that you're going to have to make these same tough decisions. So HP, lifesteal, legendary, speed, crit damage, nah. HP, 600, don't want it. Don't want the flat stat. Don't want the flat stat there. Destroy to me is one of the worst sets in the game, so it would have to be amazing. Kind of like this. I am actually going to keep this helmet because, again, it is epic, has speed, has crit rate, and has attack percentage. I'll take it, right? Attack, easy sell. Defense, easy sell. Attack, easy sell. Frost, I don't consider to be a good set, so I will go ahead and devalue that. Daze, kind of the same boat as Frost, unless it's amazing. Probably not keeping it. Like this one, I will keep, right? Because I have a chance to double roll on the attack percentage or speed, and that can be useful. And I don't mind Daze set in the arena when you just want to basically buy you an extra turn for your next champion to go next, if that makes any sense, using that sleep debuff, right? So We'll sell that, and we'll sell that. They're all 5 stars. And again, guys, I'm not gonna, well, I guess I'll go through everything because there's not that much left to go through. But, you know, this is a tough one here because Avenging, I think, is pretty crappy. It's not the worst, but it's definitely far from the best. Speed and Accuracy, it's a tough one, man. I guess I'll keep it because I do like accuracy. I do value my accuracy. But again, everything else we're pretty much gonna sell here, right? Yep, sell that. Stalwart, again, Stalwart, not the best set, not the worst set again. It can be useful against Clan Boss, minus 30% damage taken from AoE attacks. Putting a whole Clan Boss team in Stalwart, or at least your squishier units, maybe 2, isn't the worst game plan, but usually you just get more value out of lifesteal anyway, right? Because you're healing that up and more. So accuracy and speed, I guess I'll take it. I guess I'll keep it there. And then 5-star selling. Retaliation. These are actually a reward that I got from winning the Ice Golems tournament, so I'm probably not going to be selling these. 6-star epics. Attack speed. This is actually really solid weapon right here, guys. Speed, attack percentage, and HP percentage on a 6-star relentless. Super valuable. How much do I get for that? Quite a bit. Let's see. Speed, crit rob. Man, these are really good. Now, I'm going to keep all of these. Let's see these gauntlets. Ugh. I'm tempted to keep it anyway, but not with the attack on there. I'll keep it anyway. Just Relentless is so... 18% to get an extra turn is so OP in this game. I don't... man. Kind of bummed out. This is the first time I'm looking at this stuff, obviously. That I got 2 flat stats on my chest and on my gauntlets. Crit rate attack... yikes. It's not good. It's not good. I got crap on my 3, like, most important pieces of gear here. I guess I'm going to go ahead and sell. You know, I'm going to keep them all and make the decision later on those. That's really tough, you know. Relentless is just such a good set, and it's not available other than these special tournaments and challenges and stuff. So anyway, guys, I hope this video helped me. Let me know, helped you. It helped me a lot too, but I hope it helped you guys. Let me know if it did, or if you don't like this, and I will or won't do any more in the future. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you like this content, and again, look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments regarding your feedback on this one. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.